If you are a student or a parent looking to secure an education loan, especially a secured loan, you are in the right place. In today's video, we are going to cover everything you need to know about the collateral for education loans, why it's required, what types of collateral are accepted, how the valuation process works, and the entire loan process from start to the finish. We will also address the common concerns and the most importantly show you how Epicred can make the process as simple and stress-free as possible. Hi everyone, I'm Simran, co-founder at Epicred and your trusted guide through the education loan process. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is collateral? Simply put, collateral is an asset that you pledge to a lender to secure the loan. If you are unable to repay the loan for any reason, the bank can take possession of this asset to recover the money. The idea is that the bank has some form of guarantee that the loan will be repaid even after something goes wrong. Now take a look at the types of collateral that lenders typically accept: property like land or house, fixed deposit, gold, and sometimes shares or bonds as collateral. Remember, each bank has its own requirements for how much collateral you need and how much loan they are willing to offer against that collateral. At Epicred, we help you choose the best collateral options based on your profile. Now you might be wondering, why do banks require collateral for the education loan? The answer is simple: security. Education loans, especially for the higher educations, can be large, often amounting to several lakhs. Since students usually don't have an income during their studies, banks prefer secured loans as collateral helps reduce their risk. Collateral ensures the bank can recover the loan amount if you are unable to repay. However, not every education loan requires collateral. It depends on the loan amount, your financial profile, and the co-applicant's creditworthiness. Now let's uncover when is collateral needed for the education loan. Collateral is typically required in two situations. First, when the loan amount exceeds the limit for unsecured loans. Banks usually offer unsecured loans up to 7.5 to 10 lakhs for the domestic studies and up to 25 lakhs for the abroad studies. Second, when the applicant or the co-applicant has a weak financial profile or lacks income, collateral provides additional security for the lender. Now that you know what collateral is and when it's required, let's talk about the loan application process. The process can seem complicated, but I'll walk you through it step by step so you know exactly what to expect. The first step is to submit your loan application. You'll need to provide the financial information like your course details, the university you have been accepted to, and the amount of money you need. Then the bank will evaluate your profile. They'll assess your admission letter, the course cost, the loan amount, collateral's value, and the co-applicant's financial status. Then you'll need to submit all the relevant documents including the proof of collateral. If the collateral is property, the bank will hire an external valuer to assess its market value. Once the valuation and the documentation are complete, the loan will be sanctioned and you'll sign an agreement with the bank. But don't worry, Epicred will help you at every step. Document collection, coordinating with the bank managers, and even managing the third-party valuations. We ensure that the property or the FD valuation is done smoothly and accurately. Now let's dive deeper into the collateral valuation, especially for the real estate, which is one of the most commonly used forms of collateral for the education loan. This is a crucial part of the loan process, and understanding how it works will help you manage your expectations and avoid surprises. So when you pledge an immovable property like a house or land, the bank will hire a professional valuer, usually a civil engineer or a certified property consultant, to assess the market value of your property. The valuer will then visit the property, inspect the documents, take the photographs, and submit a detailed report to the bank, including the market value. So this is the price at which the property can potentially be sold in the open market, which is evaluated basis the current market conditions, the property location, the legal status, and the potential for the future appreciation. The second thing, which is the realizable value. Typically, banks will accept 80% of the market value as realizable value, which reflects how much they expect to recover in case they need to sell the property. Third is the deferred value. This is the value value of the property after adjusting for the issues like legal disputes or other complications. Now coming on to the valuation of fixed deposits and the insurance policies. For the FDs, the process is relatively straightforward. Banks typically offer a loan based on the principal amount plus the accrued interest. Some banks might offer 100% of the FD value as a loan, whereas insurance policies, particularly those from the reliable insurance providers like LIC, are also accepted as collateral. However, a surrender value certificate from the insurance provider is mandatory. Apart from this, there are other forms of collateral as well, like the government bonds, shares, and gold. So the government bonds can sometimes provide 100% loan coverage, but not all the banks accept them. And if the bank accepts gold as collateral, they will usually cover 75% of the market value because gold is easier to evaluate since it has a liquid market and the process is very quick compared to the property. If you pledge shares or the bonds, the bank will assess the market value at the time of the loan application and will accordingly give you the loan. But don't worry, Epicred streamlines the collateral loan process by connecting you with the approved valuers, ensuring all documentation is complete and helping you assess the surrender value of the insurance policies. We guide you in evaluating the collateral options like gold and the government bonds and coordinate with the bank for smooth and the timely approval. But wait, while the process of securing an education loan with collateral is generally straightforward, there are few challenges which you might encounter. First, the property valuation delays. This can take a few weeks depending on the availability of the valuer and the local regulations. Second, incomplete documentation. Missing or incorrect documents are a common reason loans get rejected. So it's important to have everything ready before you apply. Third, legal disputes with collateral. If there are any legal issues with your property like unclear ownership or the pending court cases, the bank may reject it. Make sure the property is free from any legal problem. Fourth, the co-applicant's financial profile. Banks also look at the co-applicant's income and the credit score. If your co-applicant has a poor credit score or insufficient income, it could affect your loan approval. But don't worry, at Epicred, we help you overcome all the common challenges by offering a document collection service in all the major cities as well as the rural area to ensure that all the paperwork is submitted, coordinating with the approved valuer for the smooth and the quick valuations, guiding you through the legal concerns related to the property ownerships and disputes, and assessing your co-applicant's financial profile to strengthen your loan application. While we understand that the process has its own set of challenges, it also brings along a range of significant benefits over the unsecured loan. Few of the benefits are: first, lower interest rates. Collateral loans tend to have lower interest rates because they are less risky for the bank. Second, higher loan amounts. With collateral, you can secure larger loans, which is especially useful if you are planning to study abroad. Third, higher approval rate. Since there is a guarantee in the form of collateral, the chances of your approval are significantly higher compared to the unsecured loan. So here, Epicred partners with over 15 lenders offering the best deals on the secured loans. We ensure that you get the most competitive interest rates and the highest loan amount possible based on your profile. We also negotiate with the bank managers on your behalf. Now let's address some common questions we get from the students about collateral. First, can I get gift deed as collateral? Gift deeds can be accepted by some banks, but the documentation required can be complex and you will need to prove that the gift was legally transferred to you. Second, can I use my FD as collateral for studying abroad? What if the FD is in my uncle's name? Yes, you can use your uncle's FD as collateral, but you'll need their consent and they must co-sign the loan agreement as a co-applicant. Third, how much FD is required, let's say for a 35 lakh loan? Generally, banks lend up to 90% of the FD's value. So for a 35 lakh loan, your FD would need to be around 40 lakh. But this can vary depending on the bank and your profile. Fourth, can whole-time insurance policies be used as collateral? Of course, yes. Insurance policies from the established providers can be used, but a surrender value certificate is required. Fifth, what happens if my property is in my village and not in a city? Can I still get a loan? Of course, yes, banks accept properties in villages, but the valuation process might be more stringent. 6. I have a land in my city, but it's not my permanent address. Can I still use it as a collateral? Yes, the location of the property is not a barrier as long as the property is legally owned by you or your co-applicant and can be properly valued. Bank will assess the marketability of the property, not the address. 7. Can my father's government service book be used as a collateral for my education loan? Unfortunately, service books cannot be used as collateral. However, if your father is a government employee, his income and the job stability can significantly strengthen your loan application. It will allow you to access higher loan amounts with lower collateral requirements. 8. What happens if my property is under a home loan? Can I still use it? Yes, properties under home loans can be used as collateral. The bank will assess the remaining value of the property after deducting the home loan balance. In some cases, bank may request the home loan lender for no objection certificate. If you have any more queries, you can drop the queries in the comment section. Now let's move on to the next step. Once your education loan is approved, the journey doesn't end there. In fact, it's just the beginning. After your loan is sanctioned, there are several steps that you will need to complete, especially if you have pledged a collateral. Let's take a closer look at the post-approval process and the ongoing support that Epicred offers. After your loan gets sanctioned, you'll need to sign a formal loan agreement with the bank. This document outlines the terms, interest rates, repayment schedule, and the collateral details. And if your collateral is real estate, the mortgage will need to be created on the property. This means the bank will legally hold the rights to the property until the loan is fully repaid. The process typically involves the title verification, stamp duty, and registration at the local sub-registrar office. Once the agreement is signed, the loan amount will be disbursed for study loans. This usually means the money will be sent directly to your education institution or to your account to cover the tuition fees and other related expenses. And the repayment typically start after a moratorium period, which is usually around 6 to 12 months after the course completion. The bank will outline when your repayments will begin and how much you need to pay monthly depending on the terms of your loan. So to sum it up, understanding collateral and the loan process is key to securing the funds you need for the higher education, whether it's property, FD, gold, or any other asset. Knowing how to navigate the valuation and the collateral requirements is very crucial to maximize your loan potential. At Epicred, we support you every step of the way from the loan application to the post-approval assistance. With a 15+ lenders partnership, we ensure that you get the best deal